name is Peter Johnson, and I am an author. Okay, like just like I was introduced, I write. I'm a writer. I'm a creative. I do a lot of things. I'm an actor as well. So sometimes you may see me on TV. And then also, I'm also a teacher as well. Okay, so I teach older kids at a college level. But for more importantly, I have two young children as well. My oldest son is 11, and my youngest son is 4. And I get inspired as an artist through my children. So I create a lot of material based off of what they're feeling and what they go through, and what I'm feeling and what I'm feeling towards them. And a lot of times, you guys can relate to a lot of the stuff that I'm able to create because I'm creating it for kids, okay? And it's specifically for you guys. So before I get into it as well, I want everybody in the room, all the kids, because I can see some pictures and of some of you guys. You have your screens turned on. This book that I'm going to talk about is called The Cow on 2 Farms, right? And what this book is about, okay? And I want you guys to give me a show of hands if any of you guys ever experienced this. But this book is for children specifically that may live in 2 households. And what that means is that maybe you live with mom some of the time and you go and visit dad at another house, or maybe you live with grandma or you live with dad and sometimes you have to go to another house to see your other parent, right? Is anybody in the room have that situation? Is anybody in the room like that where maybe their mom lives in one place and their dad lives in another, right? Or they live with grandma and they go visit dad or they go visit mom, right? Okay, so I got some people raising their hands, right? That's very good, okay? The purpose of this book today is to let you know that it's still a positive thing. Even though that mom and dad may not live in the same place, right? They may not live in the same home, but it's still, we're gonna look at the positive aspects of when you have to go visit mom in one house and go visit dad in another, okay? So that's what we're gonna take out of this. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna read you guys the story today, and then I'm gonna ask you some questions afterwards to make sure that you guys fully get and you understand everything and all the positives that this character goes through when she has to visit her mom in one place and her dad in another. All right? Okay. All right. So if you could just pull up the, all right, wonderful. Here we go. And everybody here, what you're going to do is we're going to follow along. Okay. All right. So again, this is The Cow on 2 Farms by that handsome guy there. That's me, Peter Johnson. All right. Okay. The first slide. Here we go. So Old Man Johnson, he had a 42-acre farm near a small town in Tennessee. And on that farm lived a family of chickens, pigs, horses, and cows. Now, Kathy was the youngest calf in the entire cow family, and she was also the most curious animal on the entire farm. Next slide. One day, after a long afternoon of grazing in the fields, Kathy returned to her stable to find out that her father, Big John Bull, was not there. So Kathy asked her mom, "Mommy, where's my dad?" Kathy's mother replied, "Oh, I'm sorry, Kathy, but Old Man Johnson has given your father to the farm next door to help that stable grow. Unfortunately, your father will be living over there from now on." Kathy felt very sad. Go back. Skipped one. Kathy felt very sad about the thought of not living with her father. Her mother gave her a big hug and told her, "Your dad and I love you very much. And even though it will be a little different without your dad being here, I promise you that everything will be all right." The next day, Kathy visited her father on his new farm. Kathy's father said, "I know this is hard on all of us, but Daddy will always be here for you. I love you very much." Then Kathy looked on the farm and noticed several new kinds of animals that were not on her farm at home. A beautiful rooster approached Kathy and said, "Hi, I'm Rocky the Rooster. Can we be friends?" Kathy said, "Sure." Then Rocky said, "Let me show you around the farm. You'll meet some really cool friends here." As they walked through the pasture, Rocky said, "You know, it must be cool living on two farms." Kathy said, "What do you mean?" Rocky replied, "Well, I'm sure you never get bored. You probably have cool friends on both farms. I bet both farms have really great food to eat, and you get separate gifts from your parents on the holidays. That's double parents." Kathy said, "Wow, I guess I never thought about that." Kathy and Rocky continued walking, and they stopped at the barn of Henry the horse. "Hey, Henry," shouted Rocky, "come meet Kathy. She's here visiting her father." "Hi, Kathy. I'm Henry, and welcome to our farm," said the horse. "I grew up on two separate farms as well. Even though I had to visit my parents separately, I was always excited to see them. The time apart allowed us to miss each other." Kathy said, "Thanks, Henry. It was really nice meeting you." As they continued to walk through the pasture, Kathy started to get very hot from the heat of the sun. She realized that her dad's farm didn't have as many trees and shaded areas as her mother's farm. "Does the sun bother you, Kathy?" asked Rocky. "No, I just realized that this farm doesn't have as many trees to block the sun as my mother's farm does. My mom told me that I'd be experiencing some changes and that I would have to learn to adapt to new things. So I'm okay," Kathy said. Later that night, Kathy returned to her mother's farm. Her mother greeted her with excitement. "How was your day visiting your father?" Kathy replied, "It was wonderful. I met a lot of new friends on his farm, and I spent a lot of quality time with my dad. I can't wait to go back." Kathy said, "Mom, I love living on this farm with you, but I also love being on the new farm with Dad. When I'm with you, I love the grass, and the shade is much better here. But at Dad's farm, I like being with my new friends. Also, Dad makes me feel really safe. Do you think I can live on both farms?" Kathy's mom said, "Well, what if you lived with me half of the time and you lived with your dad the other half? That way, you'll get to see us both equally and spend time on both farms." Kathy was very happy at this thought. Both of Kathy's parents agreed that she would split her time living on both farms so she could spend time with her parents equally. And by living on both farms, Kathy was happy. And so were her parents and all of her new friends. Kathy realized that growing up on two farms wasn't bad at all. She enjoyed the benefits of each farm and was happy in what seemed like a sad situation. The end. All right, clap it up, guys. All right. Now, I want to. All right. Now, if anybody out there tell me, all right, I want you to raise your hand and tell me, okay, why was Kathy sad in the beginning? Why was she sad? Gabriel, tell me.
she was separated from my mom and dad.
Repeat it. What did you say? What'd you say, Gabriel?
She was separated from mom and a dad.
Right, right. So she was very sad because she was separated from her mom and dad. But let's talk about now, what were some of the things that made Kathy happy? Okay, when she visited her dad, what were some of the things? Can someone tell me one thing that made Kathy happy when she visited her dad? And how about Twayo? Twayo, go ahead. You raise your hand.
Palomi, that's you. Go ahead.
All right. Well, let's call on somebody else. All right.
Traffy
had
friends on her dad's farm.
Right.
She could go on her mom's farm and her dad's farm.
Good job.
Right. Very good. Very good. Can somebody tell me, all right, what was another thing, okay, that made Kathy happy? All right, Giselle, tell me.
That she liked the shade, but there wasn't that much trees at her father's place. But at her mom's place, there was a lot of trees for shade.
All right. But what was the lesson in that, right? Because now she was in two households, and even though one house had more shade than the other, what was the lesson in that? That she had to learn what?
That it's okay to be separated from different places.
Yeah, because sometimes we have to learn how to adapt to new things, right? And when we learn how to adapt to new things, it's not a bad thing, right?
Yeah, it's not a bad thing.
And what happens, what was when we had Rocky the Rooster? Rocky was explaining, okay, to Kathy that during the holidays and on Christmas, she gets what?
She gets some presents from her mom and then some presents from her dad.
And that's called double presents.
Double presents.
Double presents. Is there anyone here, all right, that received double parents? Who receives 2 Christmases? Raise your hand. Raise your hand. 2 Christmases
together.
All right. So there's some people raising their hands. Let me just tell you, you guys are extremely lucky because you get 2 Christmases, right? You get to celebrate Christmas with your mom and you get gifts. And then sometimes you get to celebrate Christmas with your dad and then you get even more gifts. So, right? So now we go, let's fast forward until the end, okay? Kathy got a chance to spend time with her mom and her dad, all right? And this made her really what? Really what? How does she feel at the end, guys? Autumn, how does she feel?
She felt so sad that she felt so happy that she was able to spend time with both of her parents.
That is correct, right? So she was happy because she got a chance to spend now equal time with her mom and time with her dad. And she noticed through that, right, that she got double presents from her parents, okay? Then she also made new friends at her dad's farm. How many of you guys, all right, and again, you can raise your hand, and I want you to tell me if you had friends at your mom's house and then a whole completely set of friends, new friends at your dad's house. Does anybody have that? All right, and that is Kamara, right? Chroma, Mackenzie. All right, so you have a set of friends at your mom. Tell me if you could tell me what's some of your friends' names at your mom's house and what's some of your friends' names at your dad's house?
what some of my friends' names at my mom's house is Morgan, and Kari.
Ooh, are they cool?
Yeah.
Oh, that's wonderful. That's wonderful. Anyone else?
Nice.
All right. Anyone else gonna share the names of their friends on their moms at their mom's house, and then friends that they have maybe at their dad's house? Giselle, go ahead. Giselle, you still there?
Yeah, I had my hand raised up. I actually don't live apart with my mom and dad.
Okay, cool. Right. But let me just tell you this, and this is very important, right? So if your parents live in one household, that's even better, right? Because your parents are together. But what this book also helps you understand, it also helps you understand of what other kids go through, right?
Yeah.
So they may be sad because their parents are apart, right? But then when they get to see them just as much, when they get to see them both, it makes them
different parts, different states,
right,
countries,
right,
I guess.
Right. So even though you may not be in that situation, it helps you understand of what other kids may go through when they're in that situation, right?
Yeah.
All right. Well, that is great. Is anyone out here have any questions for me, the writer, the author, the preacher? All right, you have a question. Is that Mackenzie? You have a question for me?
No.
No? Okay, you had your hand up. It looks like your hand was up. Autumn, do you have a question for me?
Yes. Are you gonna be doing this more often in story time?
Well, I would love to. Absolutely. I have another book that I'm getting ready to come out with, and it's based off the horse. It's called Henry the Workhorse. And what it's about is it's about sometimes as parents, we have to go to work and we can't spend as much time with our kids that we want to because sometimes we have to go to work, right? So it's about how kids have to understand when their parents go to work, how we're doing it to make a better life for you. So hopefully when I come out with that book, I get a chance to see your beautiful face and I get a chance to read that book to you guys too.
Okay.
All right. And Giselle had a question.
So like, can you make a book with all of us in it?
Oh, that would be cool.
Yeah, because then like if I said, can I be in one of your books? That wouldn't be fair for the other kids in here. So why don't we make one with all the kids?
Ooh, that would be sweet, right?
Yeah.
We call it Legends All Stars.
Yeah, and then when we come back, if you did it, when we come back, we can maybe read it.
Absolutely.
Or another time.
That would be cool. Maybe you guys can get started on writing some of the story for the book, right?
Okay, I call the first part.
First part, all right, that's cool. And Olivia, you have a question.
Yeah. Yes. How did you think of to make that book?
Well, I'll tell you how I thought about making that book. Because like I said, I have two boys. My oldest son, his name is Xavier, and my youngest son, his name is Dominic. All right, and Xavier is 11 and Dominic is 4. And I was experiencing grown-up problems with their mom. And sometimes, okay, that we decided with their mom that it's better that we live apart, only because we felt like we would be more productive and it would be better. We don't want our kids to see us disagreeing. So we decided that we would want, that it was better for us to live apart. And I wanted to create this book because in the beginning, both of my kids were very sad that mom and dad lived in separate houses. So I wanted to create this book to help them understand that living in two houses isn't a bad thing. In fact, they actually became happy after reading this book because they began to understand that living in two houses wasn't a bad thing at all.
Cool.
Cool. Great question, Olivia.
All
All
those
right.
were excellent questions. Does anybody have any other questions for Mr. Johnson before we let him go? Kali,
Yes.
go ahead. What's your question?
I want to show him something.
You want to show me something? What you got? Okay, I want to see.
Let me turn my background off.
Oh, I thought you was in school. That's not your house. That's not your house.
No. I'm at Legends.
Okay, you're at Legends. All right.
A ring.
Ooh, and that's hearts on the ring. That is pretty.
Thank
Where'd you
you.
get that ring? Who gave you that ring? Where'd you get that ring from?
My grandma.
Grandma gave it to you?
Yes.
That looks like a very special ring. So I want you to make sure that you protect it and you always keep up with it, okay? Make sure you never lose that ring because it looks like that's a very special ring from your grandma and it's a beautiful ring, okay?
Yeah, it's a heart ring.
Yeah, that represents your heart and your grandma's heart. So make sure you never lose it.
Okay.
All right.
Mr. Johnson, I am so grateful that you took the time out to read our Legend Scholars, and we will be looking forward to whatever next book you have, and we appreciate you taking the time to read to the kids, and we'll let you go. Thank you so much.
Okay.
Thank you. Bye.
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 Bye, guys.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Does this mean we can leave?
So yeah, yes, you can leave.
Okay, because I thought that since he can leave, I was like, wait, are we gonna read another story?
No, we're gonna start
Because you're a story time teacher.
Okay, so I want you in it, all right? And
I promise I'll be there always.
listen, and I'm gonna start doing like music time too. Will you be in that too? So we're gonna do like karaoke, fun stuff, and singing. I can't wait. I'm so excited.
I know how to sing. I know how to sing.
Giselle's gonna be in my class too.
I know how to sing. I know how to sing.
I'm so excited. So if you guys think of any like fun songs you want to sing, you let me know.
Okay, I have one.
Best one ever. We can do.
Okay. All right. And I'm gonna put something out for your parents on Parent Square. Okay.
Okay, thank you. Bye.
Bye, Miss Kim.
Bye, Miss Autumn. Take care, sweetheart.
Bye.
Bye, baby girl.